welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie. Today I'm going to do a chatty get ready with me. I am just getting ready for a normal work day, so I'm just going to kind of show you what I normally do and chat with you, catch up. So I hope you are all doing well. I always keep notes on my phone of what I want to talk about between when I do these, because things happen and then I forget, and when I film it's so random, but like I'll forget what to talk about. So anyway, hope you're doing well. It is winter where I live. Let me actually, you know what, let me insert a clip of what I mean by winter. So yeah, snowing. My phone says it's 24 degrees, but feels like 18. I believe it. But I feel like my body has finally started to adjust. When it first gets cold, it really hits me harder. And then, you know, your body kind of adjusts. Just like in the summer, the first heat wave we get, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to just pass out from the heat. But then, you know, your body kind of adjusts. So I'm starting to get there, which is a good thing, to not be shivering at all points in time. But I always, here at my desk, always have a blanket on my lap. I know a lot of people do that, and it's just kind of comforting too. So lately for makeup, I have been into powder foundation and cool tones for like my eyes and stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the look today. I just did a Project Pan update, so I still have some Project Pan items that I'm going to be, you know, focusing on and hopefully get, you know, uses in all of those today. But let's go ahead and kind of chat. So the first thing is I lost my SD card, so I had to get a new one. I wasn't really planning to go as long as I did without posting. I had pre-filmed some stuff before we went to Florida, and I was going to bring the SD card with me and kind of work on things. We were there for a work trip for my boyfriend. We went down a few days early just for us for vacation, which I'm so glad we did. It was the first time he has not checked his email in 3 consecutive days, which is a big deal. It's been a big year for him in that there's been a lot of changes and just a lot of stress. So I was actually really pleased that he didn't check his email and like really didn't check his email. That was good for him, like mentally, you know, and just for his body to like ease into the relaxation. And then we did have to do a little bit of work. So I filmed before we left, and I was going to, you know, upload video and everything. I'm using the That's Taupe palette for this really nice kind of light transition shade. And then I'm going to use this Pebble Beach shade in my crease. But I lost the SD card. I have no idea where it is. I'm still hoping I may find it. But in the meantime, I did buy a new one. So now I'm back to, you know, filming and everything like that. But that was a little bit of a bummer. So, you know, it is what it is. Like I had filmed a color challenge video and lost that footage. So I'll just kind of pick up the next update. But I have all blues and purples, which maybe I'll use one of those today. I can show you. But yeah, otherwise, YouTube, I'm going to be doing Vlogmas again this year. So I really liked how I did it last year. I did every 3 days was a vlog. So like the first, second, third would be one vlog together, because I live a very repetitive life and kind of boring. So having 3 days put together made it easier on me, but it wasn't like so long of a time period. So I'm going to do that again, which is nice because then I have those scheduled out and I just have to kind of fill in the gaps. And I do have a rough draft of my schedule and what I'd like to film, but if you have any suggestions, let me know, or even suggestions of things you want me to do in the vlog, like we could wrap Christmas gifts together or, you know, whatever. Let me know because I'm open to suggestions. Now I'm going to use my Sultry palette. This is my Pan Matte palette, and I'm really trying to hit pan in Cyborg, the silver shade. So I've been using it pretty much every day, but to warm it up, because that's a pretty icy gray, I've been pairing it with Cinder, kind of this cooler tone brown shimmer. So I'm going to put Cinder down first and then Cyborg on top of it. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at with Vlogmas. I'm kind of prepping for that. And then I am going to try to get a few things pre-filmed, like things that I definitely, like project pan updates you have to wait for. But there's a few things that I could probably get ahead on, or at least, further brainstorm before I start, because it definitely helps to batch film. So what I'll often do, I do it all year, but especially for Vlogmas, I will film, like if I'm filming today, I'm going to film at least 2 videos. And they may not be back-to-back videos, but at least then I have them, in my queue, and then I can edit and process them and everything. And having them uploaded into the studio side of YouTube and like scheduled before I actually need them to go live makes a huge, huge difference. So I'm going to grab a little bit of twig in here. That's this brown. It's actually a little bit deeper than the ones I used before to buff out this crease. So that's kind of the plan, but I am looking forward to it. It's just a fun time of year, and I have like my FTO confirmed, so I'm going to do some half days throughout the month, and a couple extra days off here and there as well to ring in the new year and all of that. So camera like cut off somewhere in there. So hopefully I know where I left off. I caught it early though, so that's good. So the other thing that I've been kind of dealing with and working through is my house. I kind of let it go. We were out of town and I came home, and then my boyfriend had a work trip like the next day. So I just prioritized getting his laundry done and flipping his suitcase around. And then he was home, and then we relaxed, and then he went on another work trip. And I've just been like struggling to get it all back. So I wanted to shout out a channel that I've really enjoyed. I think Clean With Me's are fun, absolutely, but one that I've really enjoyed because I find her so relatable, down to earth, is Shannon. From her channel is called Leaf Like on a Tree. I think her last name is Leaf, so that makes sense. But she hasn't been posting a ton lately, but if you go back, she has a lot of Clean With Me's and declutter videos, and I just find her really relatable. She talks about, cleaning with depression and when you feel overwhelmed, and just, taking bite-sized chunks. So what I've done is use some of that inspiration. I will watch one of her videos and then convince myself to set a timer for like a half hour and just get as much as I can done, because that does make a difference. It's not perfect on day one, but throughout the week. Normally, what I try to do with my cleaning schedule is I try to have certain tasks that I do on certain days. So like Tuesday, in our household, Tuesday is Toilet Tuesday. So the bathrooms get cleaned and I scoop the cat's box. I scoop them later in the week too, but always on Tuesdays. And that helps me know, like, okay, I do the bathrooms on Tuesdays. And then like Wednesdays is kitchen day, for me to like really wipe it down and mop and all that. So I want to get back to that, but I feel like it's just so out of control that I'm not quite there yet. So I've been doing these like 30-minute, timers and just trying to get as much as I can. And that's been really helping. And then when I wake up in the morning and I see, okay, the kitchen's a lot better than it was yesterday, or like the bedroom is a lot better than it was yesterday, it helps me want to keep going. So if you're in a rut, I feel you. So these are the shades that I have in my current color challenge. They're all blues and purples. So I'm going to use, I think, this dark blue shade as, and actually, you know what? Maybe I'll do purple today. I think I'm going to do purple, actually. I'm going to use this as a liner on my upper lash line. And I get questions about how I do this. So I take my setting spray, a little bit on the back of my hand. I have a flat liner brush. I actually have two. One I use for colored, one I use for black, just because the black will always seep through. So I get my brush wet, and then I kind of pull a little bit off. I don't want it dripping. And then I just go into the shadow. And that's why a lot of my liner shades have this particular mark, because it's where I stick my brush and it's wet. So it leaves a little bit more of a mark. And then I just go ahead and line my eyes. I like a flat liner brush because I can kind of stamp it and then pull it together. Like that. And I could go over, again, and try to deepen that up a little bit. I just really love doing my liner this way. It gives me more options in my makeup collection. I have all these colors, and it helps me, like I don't have to buy eyeliner now. I wouldn't mind getting maybe like one black liquid liner or something like that just to have, but I really like doing it this way, and it helps me get more use out of the products I already have. And also, when I look at palettes and I see deep colors, I normally shy away from them. I'm very fair, so deep colors pack quite a punch on my skin. I feel like a lot of pale people are nervous around deep colors, and it's not that I'm nervous around like trying things. I just have been burned so many times in the past where you go in really light-handed and you have a black eye. So having another way that I can use them makes me feel good about that too. So there we go. We got a little purple liner action. I don't have my makeup eraser, so I'll just wash my hand after this, but you get the idea. Okay, so that's it for the eyes for right now. I always do my mascara towards the end because I don't want to hit my eyes when it's wet. I've done that too many times. But for my face, I am going to put a primer down. I have this e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I'm not loving this, so I'm just trying to use it up kind of. It's fine, but it doesn't help with oiliness at all for me. So I just use it on work days when, you know, I'm not really leaving the house and I'm on Zoom, so like who cares if you're oily or not. But when I'm out and about on the weekends, or like if I was going to a friend's house or something, I would wear a different primer. So I'm just kind of trying to use this one up. It's not my fave. And then I've been into powder foundation. So I got into powder foundation this summer with the ColourPop powder foundation. My one that I brought to Florida, it was so close to being done, brush drops falling down, that I wanted to pick up another powder. I went to Target. They didn't have the ColourPop one, even though it was like one with Ulta, whatever. So I grabbed this one. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear with like this red, I don't know, packaging. It says full matte coverage. I really like it. It's nice. I normally don't purchase from L'Oreal because I try to stick with cruelty-free brands, but this was like the best option in the moment, so it is what it is. But I use a flat kabuki brush. This is from Sigma from forever ago, but I just kind of go in here with the brush itself, and then I have a mirror here that I'm going to look into, and I can just kind of buff it in. I do circular motions and try to stick into certain, you know, zones of my face. Like I'll just do one cheek first, but I like it. You know, it's the thing about powder foundation is I always thought it was gonna be like so cakey and like thick of makeup, like you'd need a lot to get any sort of coverage or whatever like that. And I haven't found that to be the case. Actually, I found it to be very lightweight. And that's what I'm really enjoying, actually, is it feels this, it feels nice. It feels, you know, just lightweight and kind of like nothing's there, which I appreciate. So yeah, I've been into it. The only thing is you can kind of go through them fast, like the ColourPop one. I can kind of go through that one fast. So this one seems to be lasting well. And, you know, I'd love to try some other ones. I've always been kind of curious about the Fenty one, but I don't know if I want to spend the money on it. I'm just not into like high-end makeup as much. I think if I'm going to spend money on like high-end makeup, I'd rather have like an eyeshadow palette or maybe like blush or highlight, just because those products last me for so long. The, you know, foundations and stuff, they just go so fast. So yeah, that's it. I'm definitely into like a light medium coverage these days too. I don't go crazy. I am going to add just a little bit of concealer under my eyes, but nothing too much. So I'm just going to put a little dab there and there, and that's really it. Just to brighten it up. So yeah, powder foundation has been great for me. I'm definitely liking it. Especially in the summer, I liked it because I do have oily skin, and in the summer it's hot, you're sweaty, and just having something that wasn't a cream sitting on my skin was nice. I don't know how people wear cream makeup in the summer. It just melts and feels heavy for me. So I'm much more into the powders because at least it absorbs, you know, the sweat and the oil and everything. I don't know. Maybe that's different if you don't have oily skin. I'm sure it is. Anywho, So there we go. And then I'm just going to set down that concealer with my Hourglass Quad. I like the setting shade in here. It's one of the kind of yellow tinted ones. And I just like to set that just a little, and it does offer a little bit of brightness too, which I enjoy. So I'm going to put that kind of where I want a little bit of brightness, but not highlight, you know? Okay, I'm going to do bronzer. The other thing that has been going on for work, at least, is we hired a new person in my department, which is great. I work at a pretty small company, so it's like a big deal. And she actually was my referral. I worked with her before, so that was really great too. You know, she had to go through the interview process, and there were other candidates and everything. But ultimately, my team decided she was the best fit, so it's been really great to have her on the team and working together again. And you know, it's kind of fun because we both work in software. I can relate things like how this software product works to the previous product that we both worked on. And so she's kind of like getting it because I can explain it in something that is, you know, she used to be an expert in too. And that's been kind of a fun like translation process and helpful for us. And so, yeah, it's been really great. And, you know, happy to have her back, but it also is something that, like, I don't want her to be known as like, oh, that's Maggie's friend, you know, like she needs to make her own name, and she has been doing great with that too. So I'm really, really excited for that. I'm going to use my ColourPop Peach Blush just to add a little bit of warmth to my skin. I know I like the cool tone eyes, but I like a little bit of warmth. So yeah, work has been good. End of the year is always crazy. And now we're at the point where like, oh, we have to wait till after Thanksgiving to do whatever, have this meeting. And then soon it's going to be wait to the new year. So, you know, it's the home stretch, right? So we'll get there. I'm going to use a ColourPop highlighter. This is the shade Monster. It's got like this pink reflect to it, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I find that it really does well with the, you know, cooler tone silvery eye look that I'm doing. I'm just going to kind of put that on a high point, so my cheeks and down my nose there. And I really like the ColourPop Super Shocks with the e.l.f. Small Stipple Brush because when I apply with my finger, I end up getting streaks, and like any more concentrated brush just is too harsh. So I like the kind of diffused look that combo gives. Okay, so that's kind of it for the face. I'm going to do my brows, mascara, and lips, and we are done. The other thing I wanted to ask you, does it feel like Black Friday is a whole month now? Like, I swear I get emails or see on Instagram, our Black Friday sales begun. I'm like, it's 2 weeks before Thanksgiving or a week before Thanksgiving. Like, what is happening? Which, you know, I think especially with increase of online and after COVID with not having like a lot of in-store shopping opportunities, I guess you could kind of start it whenever. I think the craze of having like lines outside of stores and, you know, stampedes are over, hopefully, because that was not, you know, helpful either. But yeah, I just feel like everybody's having sales and I can't keep track of when things start and end. At least with Black Friday and Cyber Monday, you knew it was that weekend, but I feel like things have changed. So the only Black Friday purchase I really planned for, you know, throughout the year was my planner. I use a Golden Coil planner every day. I freaking love it. And what I love about it is you get to customize the layout. So on their website, you choose the layouts and you can add different pages in. So one of the customizations I do is I have 2 monthly calendars. I have one that I keep my normal, you know, appointments, social engagements, whatever, birthdays on. And then I have a separate one where I do my finances. I put in all my bills and stuff. If you watch my budget videos, you know that. You've seen those before. But I love that. I love having 2 every month. And so that's something I can customize. And at the end of my planner, with any extra pages I have left, I always put in grid paper or dot paper, excuse me. And I love that too for notes and things I want to track throughout the year. And it's just really, really nice. and I love the format. It's what works for my brain, so I'm used to it now. But I buy it when they do the Black Friday sale this year. It's 15% off. I can link down below the information if you're interested. So mine was going to be like $100 and something, and now after it all, because I went to the max, I always fill my planner all the way up. You can do less pages. They charge by the page. So you can do fewer pages, and mine after discount ended up being like $92 and something cents. So it's a pricey planner, but I love it. And it's great to get at Black Friday because the deal, you still have time. If they are delayed in shipping, it's not that big of a deal. You'll get it before the new year. So I really, really love it and would recommend. What am I doing? I'm going to do mascara. So that's really the only purchase I planned, and I just kind of budget $100 for that, and thankfully it came in under. I just wasn't sure if they were going to raise prices or what the discount was going to be. Just with the state of the economy, you never know. So that was great. But otherwise, I don't really have any planned purchases. I'm still trying to kind of figure out what I'm going to get people for the holidays. Thankfully, my list of those I need to shop for is getting shorter every year. My dad and I have decided not to do a gift exchange anymore. We're both thankfully at a point in our lives where we don't really need anything. And if we want something throughout the year, we're able to save and get it or just make that purchase. So it's been really hard the last couple of years to buy for each other. Last year I just got him like some clothes, but I didn't even know if he needed them. Like it gets hard after a while. So what we've decided to do instead is set an amount that we both agree to and then make a donation to a local charity or a charity of our choice. So this year I'm going to do my local food pantry. I know that there are a lot of people in my small town that I know personally that benefit from the food pantry. So I would like to do a donation there. I may split it and also do the animal shelter. We'll see. But I definitely want to do the food pantry. I don't know if he's decided what one he wants to do. He was thinking maybe like Toys for Tots or something for kids. So I don't know what he's going to end up choosing, but I really love that idea. And that's something that we're doing, still together. And we talk about it. Like, what are you choosing? Did you, do it? We just text each other like a photo of our receipt, or like I try to do it online. So I just screenshot it. And it's just like a cool thing that we decided to do. And I'm really happy about it because it's a good cause and, it's a season of giving. So yeah, it just makes me feel kind of like warm and fuzzy inside. I'm going to do my lip liner here. I have to stop talking for a second. So left on my list is a gift for my boyfriend, and then my best friend. I also always get a gift for too, and then I do tend to do like little things. My boyfriend has a couple of nieces that we see around Christmas time, so I like to get them something little, like candy or Starbucks gift card or whatever. But the oldest one is in 8th grade now, so she's starting to want like, gift cards and fun things like that, which I can appreciate. And then I also always have a little bit left over to kind of, pick up things here and there for anybody I may have forgotten. Or if I end up making plans with a friend, I can get, something little. But yeah, it's nice that that list has shortened. When I was growing up, my extended family, I have a ton of cousins, tons of them. And there was definitely a group that were all kind of children at the same time, and we would do Secret Santa. So at Thanksgiving, you draw the name of the person, and then when you saw them at Christmas, you would, exchange that gift. And that was always really fun so that every kid got something. And I remember my cousin, I was so jealous of her gift one year. She got this box. It was like the size of a shoebox, and she opened it up and it was all this hair stuff. Like, it's like they went to the drugstore and just pulled off every scrunchie and hair clip and brush and, sparkly spray. And it was just like amazing. As a 7 or 8-year-old, I was so jealous of her gift and I'll never forget it. And thinking about it now, and I think she got some like lip smacker lip balms. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's such an amazing gift. And I try to remember that now that especially for kids, like it's a very overwhelming experience, but it doesn't take much to make them happy usually. So anyway, that's a lot of rambling, but I hope you guys enjoyed. This is kind of a everyday look, a little bit extra. I normally don't wear blush and highlight, but since we were chatting, I thought I would. So yeah, this is what I look like on a normal day, but you will see that soon in Vlogmas. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Let me know how you're doing down below. I know some of you always comment, and I love to hear what's going on in your life. So let me know down below what you have going on so I can chat with you there. And that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.